button. And it seems to be working. Okay.
Right.
Cool.
Then let's do that.
And it's only showing, just to confirm, it's only showing my dueling book, right? And then this thing, if I switch to...
Yeah.
Okay. So I can just stop the stream.
Yeah, whatever OBS is showing is all it's showing.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Let me stop sharing the screen.
Yeah.
All right. So we are live. Can we confirm?
We are live. I'm already watching on goatformat.com. I'm gonna send you the link for the chat real quick.
Yep.
Basically, if you have the source, you do the browser thing with that as the key, as the website, and then you can adjust that window, and that should be all there is to it.
Okay. Yeah. Just send me the. Okay. I will grab this. We will do browser. This. We'll make this the source, the URL. Okay, I've got the YouTube chat. Can you see the YouTube chat?
Not yet, but the stream should be on a small delay anyway. So, okay. Now I can at least see OBS clicking itself in.
All right. How do we set up this YouTube chat without making it?
I can actually see it on screen, so you can just make it as big or small as you want. You can.
How
there's
big
also
do we want it?
in the source thing. There's there should be the options length and width, and you can adjust those as well, and so you can make it narrower instead of moving the whole thing. Yeah.
Let me delete some of these. We don't need source 2.
Well, what was source 2? Was it the desktop sound? We need that.
Was source 2 the desktop sound? Can you hear me again?
Well, I can hear you because I hear you on Discord. Give me a second.
Can you hear me on the stream? Oh no. Okay. Source 2. Okay, we gotta re-add the desktop audio. Was that the rest desktop sound? I thought it was the window caption. That was window oh my god. No, source 2 was the let me know if you can hear me on the stream. Okay,
I can hear you on stream. It's fine.
Okay, I thought source. Okay, you freaked me out for a second.
Let's real quick. Let's go to the sources again. There, if you click on this source with the chat, then there should be the options length and width. Adjust those. Make the width half of it.
Length,
because if you drag the window around, then the ratio is gonna stay the same. But we want to
half. So make it 400, 300.
Sure.
All right. Oop. Can you see it now? It's very small.
Yeah, then you can still drag it probably, right? It's about the ratios. That's the important part.
Yeah. Let me know if this is good.
We can also just do it without the chat and get into the game already.
Yeah, it might just be easier that way. And then I can just pull up. I will pull up the goat format thing on my other screen.
Sure.
And then I can just read the chat.
More strides, rides, smiles, and miles. That is what we're made for.
Yeah. Who do you want to see?
What matters to post-university people? People who pick post want an online education that works on their schedule, so they can get a degree that can help move their career forward without having to leave the people that matter most behind. Are you a post person?
Do we have any viewers right now? Yeah. Who do you want to see?
What matters to post-university people? People who pick post want an online education that works on their schedule, so they can get a degree that can help move their career forward without having to leave the people that matter most behind. Are you a post person?
Do we have any viewers right now? Yeah. Who do you want to see?
What matters to post-university people? People who pick post want an online education that works on their schedule, so they can get a degree that can help move their career forward without having to leave the people that matter most behind. Are you a post person?
Do we have any viewers right now? Yeah. Who do you want to see?
What matters to post-university people? People who pick post want an online education that works on their schedule, so they can get a degree that can help move their career forward without having having to leave the people that matter most behind. Are you a post person?
Do we have any viewers right now?
Yeah.
Who do you want to see?
Matters to post-university people. People who pick pros want an online education that works on their schedule, so they can get a degree that can help move their career forward without having to leave the people that matter most behind. Are you a post person?
Do we have any viewers right now? Yeah. Who do you want to see?
Matters to post-university people. People who pick pros want an online education that works on their schedule, so they can get a degree that can help move their career forward without having to leave the people that matter most behind. Are you a post person?
Do we have any viewers right now? Yeah. Who do you want to see?
To post-university people. People who pick pros want an online education that works on their schedule, so they can get a degree that can help move their career forward without having to leave the people that matter most behind. Are you a post person?
Do we have any viewers right now? Yeah.
How? Hold on, I'm gonna unmute the stream.
Shut off source 2.
Oh, what? Yeah, there's like an ad playing like the whole time.
Where is the ad coming from?
I have no idea.
Is it from my TV?
I don't think it's from your TV, but if you have a TV on, you should probably turn it off.
No, DB, dueling book. Where is the ad coming from?
That could be it.
Oh
my
lord,
lord,
where the ad is coming from?
Can you? Okay, you can just right-click the tab at the top and mute it. Like if you're on Chrome, you can just right-click the tab and mute.
Right-click and mute. There's no audio coming from these.
That is okay. Okay, what are your sources? I guess like delete the YouTube source. Try if that does it. Like the chat source.
Yeah, it might be the chat. Okay, let me just delete this. I'm not even looking at it anyways.
Okay.
All right.
I can't hear the sound on stream already.
We cannot hear the sound on the stream?
I mean, like the lady sound.
Okay. Sorry, this is very scuffed, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, let us know as soon as stuff like that happens, by the way. We're just trying to do it on the fly. This has been a weird couple of minutes. Yeah, they are also already saying it's good now. All right, we're going to game 3. We sadly kind of just missed what happened, but it seems that SDL lost that one. And we haven't seen if Petron is actually on return, but I hope he is. But return kind of having a bit of an upswing lately, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think someone was I think it was Arts and Crofts. He posted a statistic, and it was apparently the case that return has won 10% of all tournaments this season so far, which is 3 tournaments, but that's still pretty impressive, right?
Absolutely, especially because it's not the most common deck. Like I'd say it's maybe like the 5th or 6th most common deck. Actually, that's not even, probably even less than that.
Yeah,
but I've been glazing that deck for a while. I still think it's the top 3 deck in the format. Like after Turbo and Warrior, it should probably be Return.
Definitely, and you already know I'm a huge fan. It's gotten me my invite this season, so definitely an underrated deck. Yeah, we're getting a 2-set pass. SDL is known for his Warrior play, but
absolutely,
a lot of these players do typically side in a lot of flips, some spies, some kinetics.
I like Morphing Jar.
Yep.
Probably not in this matchup because of his return
with 4 in hand, but
especially because against return they also set a lot of solemn, so you can't even get much value in that matchup.
We have some friends on the Slate Warrior technology as well in return. That could be an interesting card.
Amazing.
Great against mind control. So,
well, I went to locals yesterday and Wind Return won. So take from that what you will.
What return won?
Wind Return. It wasn't even with Slate Warrior. It was a wild build with like Spell Canceller in the main deck and like 2 4-star Ladybugs of Doom for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
It was a thing. Arsenal Summoner, stuff like that.
Yep. So we're seeing the spy in, and we're getting a Mobius down on the field.
Yeah, that's good. It has to be solemn. That's kind of the risk with Mobius, I think, because whenever it gets solemn, you're kind of minusing because you've already used up the monster that you've tributed.
Right, but if you can convert a spy to Mobius, you're fine. I think transforming that Mobius to 4,000 damage.
I agree, but overall, it's kind of the reason why I don't enjoy playing Mobius in the Warrior Mirror. I feel it's too, I don't know, like too hard to pull off, and there's actually potential drawbacks for dropping one.
Definitely.
Okay, so this looks pretty good for Petron.
Quick question. So I assume we're watching the stream on a delay. Do we need to be commentating on what's happening on my screen in live, or should I be commentating on what's happening in the stream?
Just commentate on the match as it's happening, because like the delay of the stream, it's like it delays us as well. You know, like our voices are being streamed.
All right. Well, we're seeing some tribute on tribute action. This is Borg's coming in, clearing up the spies. About to get snatch steal. Tornado for the snatch steal.
Would you have waited? Would you have waited for battle phase with that one?
I think you should, right? Because he's already committed the Blade Knight this turn, and there's no chance he tributes over it, right?
Yeah, but Book might be the punish.
That is true, but does Warrior typically play Book? I don't know in this.
I don't know, but I feel like lately a lot of players have just been using random versions of Book. Also, not sure if I like the ring here. I guess we're trying to aim for the lethal shot now.
Yeah, if there's no back row, it's just a game shot. MST has already been used. Same with one Dust Tornado, but if we can set up some back row.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess it would be a heavy storm would also just be killer, right? So.
Actually, this ring is even worse because okay, so it protected from smashing, so it paid off. But like the ring gave him light engrave for a potential chaos summon, so that could have been tricky.
And not the greatest smashing ground, right? Because we really want to get rid of this Zaborg, and we're fine keeping this spy up.
The hope was that BK would connect over it. Hold on, what?
Whoa,
why did he tribute both? Oh, never mind. He didn't tribute
crazy play. Okay. What are your thoughts about tributing the Zaborg from Mobius? I mean, you just lose to Solemn, right?
Yeah, you do, but yeah, I guess that's kind of a risk. But against stuff like Saku, the problem is that you're never getting that Mobius out if you ever have one.
all the tribute.
He's a madman. He's a madman.
Oh, man. Right. We have 20 players in the event today, McDeasy. So, Petron surviving and thriving. I think he is. So he is in the whatever this is.
I have a wish for the next game. Can we go Alfia against TK?
Of course,
because those are some spice lords. Gotta see the fun stuff.
It's always a treat to watch TK Griffiths play because this duelist does not get a lot of action. I feel.
Alfia looks to be on Quish, and TK seems to be on
Guardian of the Throne.
The Summoner.
An Arsenal.
Didn't I just call that card?
That is crazy.
What the hell is he doing?
Is any chance we can put the stream a bit up so we can see the HP of... Oh, I did not realize that my thing was cutting out the life points.
Yeah, it's for Alfia, the ones... I guess just make the picture a little smaller.
Yeah. Let me know if this is better once the audio thing catch up. I know they're in like siding or whatever.
I can already tell you it's going to be better.
Cool. Yeah. Guardian of Throne Room. I guess a lot to speak about here. I know Alfia has been a champion of playing the Quish strategy recently. He's been playing it a lot in Obelisk and on the format library ladder. Guardian of the Throne Room is actually a kind of a hilarious card. I know Petty is a huge fan. He actually got second place at a 3v3 tournament at some live event playing Guardian of the Throne Room plus Skull Guardian.
Okay. What does Skull Guardian do?
It is a vanilla ritual monster that is a light. It's just searchable off Arsenal Summoner.
But why would you play that instead of Guardian of the Throne Room if it's a ritual that you can't summon?
Because he was also playing Manjus.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I think he might have been able to. I don't remember. He might have had one fusion spell, but I can't recall. Maybe he had Lighten the Load as well. It was a crazy deck.
What's even crazier is that TK actually won match 1 already. Like, this is the second round for him. He won against Wolf, who I think won FLC or GFC at some point with Burn.
Yeah. I think he won he won FLC 32. So it was the tournament before I got my first invite last year.
Yep.
And I think it's the second time Burn has ever won a major other than Worlds.
Possible. I'm not really in tune with Burn lore.
Yep. Cub is giving us the information that Guardian of the Throne Room was not played by Petty, but Skull Guardian was getting sent back with Lighten the Load.
Oh, it's even a level 7 probably, right?
Yep, it's a level 7.
Yeah.
A Chaos Mask deck topped an Italian tournament a couple years ago with Arsenal Summoners, Guardian of the Throne Room, and one Guardian Sphinx.
Guardian Sphinx also such a playground menace.
Oh yeah. 100%. All right, we're getting this game in. Looks like life points are being shown. Cool, great. Starting off with a Thunder Dragon, the arguably the most popular card in Go format, right? I feel like you see this card, more copies of this card than any other card.
I think that used to be the case for Trap Dust Shoot. Right now we are in a meta where Trap Dust Shoot isn't as common anymore. Mm-hmm. But the big part is that Trap Dust Shoot could be played in any deck except for like Burn maybe. But Thunder Dragon is exclusively for Chaos decks. Could even make an argument for Jaw of Greed being more popular. Because
I think especially now, right? Because it seems like the new trend is 3 Jar of Greeds, but I think even if you went back 3-4 months, that was not common practice.
Yeah.
Lupus, this is Clash of Champions, and it's essentially a tournament that anyone that has won a major event, so GFCs, FLCs, previous Clash, even Worlds, as well as some live events, so like SJCs, I think Pro Tours count as well. They are allowed to enter. So definitely very stiff competition. We only have 20 players playing today, but all very high level caliber players. So
yeah, Alfia probably like the most creative mind in the GOAT world. He's always up to no good. And
yep, definitely. Super exciting player to watch.
I remember TK Griffiths winning his major while playing Chaos Turbo with Time Wizard in it.
Yep. That was that GOAT World War or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not sure why we flipped the Sanguine. Maybe just for the crowd, which we appreciate. At least we know what it is.
Mm-hmm. Not ideal to get off the Quish, but you're getting in for 28.
And that is ideal.
Ball rolling. Yep, exactly. Now, it is kind of funny. Guardian of the Throne Room beats over all of these guys. It is just happens to be like I think, what is it, a 1650 and 1600?
Maybe. I think those stats are correct, but I'm not sure if they're in the right order. Like, I think the defense might be higher than attack.
Yeah, I don't know. There is some interesting stuff. I know TK was suggesting people to play, what is that, Protector of the Throne Room a couple months back. So I'm excited to see if there's more spice in this list. All right, we got a breaker coming down. We got an interesting play. We can either clear the back row to make your text safe, or we can maybe clear this
the Quish.
Yeah, the Quish. Get your Sangan and then pop the Quish. Yeah. Hitting a Torrential, okay.
Probably just hitting over a monster then.
Yeah.
Quish can now crash and then resuck.
Yep, that's true.
Also, Quish actually deals effect damage if it does it like that.
Mm-hmm. But if he does that, he will get the Sangan Surge. And no Darks in the Grave, so still safe from Chaos. Both players have 1 Thunder Dragon in the hand for Alfia, 2 for TK. We're getting word that Guardian is 1650 and can beat over unboosted Blade Knight, Thunder Dragons, and Breakers. And it beats over DD Warrior Lady. That's pretty funny. Summoning this Thunder Dragon, and we're holding with the Dust Shoot just to play around any chaos. That's a pretty smart play.
Yep. And it was BLS.
Yeah, wow. So now you're in an awkward position where you committed this Thunder Dragon on the board, which you really don't want to do.
Yep.
And you're kind of forced to like crash it or leave it, but you can't really develop much more unless he has like another Chaos in hand, which looks like he does. So we're going to see a Chaos Sorcerer come down to the field. Banish this Breaker. Is there a response?
The big question is if it's even necessary, because Quish Attack and Resuck could have been worth it. Or maybe even a Thunder Dragon Crash.
I think he's just like a little hesitant just because of the Sangan. And we know 2 of the cards in TK's hands are kind of dead, right? So maybe just don't give him the resources. So if you're in TK's position, what do you really want to see here, right? We've got no real setup. We've got a Thunder Dragon. I think if we can find a Charity, that'd be great. Zambira is really good here. If there's no back. Clearing that Sorcerer. Wow. That's huge.
Yeah, quite unusual these days to side Zambira into this kind of matchup, but it doesn't sound very good. But it worked out.
Yeah, it's an interesting case because like you're by summoning Zambira, you're getting rid of your flip count by 1 monster, and you're making the Relinquish stronger. But at the same time, I want to say these like Manju decks kind of play more like an aggro deck.
Yep.
So it does do a good job of stopping the aggression. It's just like a weird balancing act on what you want, right?
So I guess Alfia for now it's just hoping for Heavy Storm.
Yep.
And would clear it. Actually, it might not if like something gets chained on Relinquished.
Yeah, or like a Tsukiyomi just to reset the Relinquished, then grab the Zambira.
Yep. If you even play Tsukiyomi.
Yeah, I know some lists cut it, some keep it. This is not finals. We are somewhere in the middle of the bracket. Petron is sitting ahead, but it is a double elimination bracket, so a lot of games to be played still.
Yeah. Like depending on how you want to read it, this is either round 1 or round 2. One of these players had to play another match to get here, the other one had a bye.
Yep. Double Zambira for TK. So I guess he shares the belief that this is more like an aggressive deck.
Yep.
And you just want to stop them in their tracks, right? I don't know. I feel it's kind of weird. I don't think it's necessarily an aggressive deck, more like a mid-range deck, right? You're playing some annoying guys, Manju that plus, and apply pressure just because they happen to be summoned attack.
Mm-hmm.
But you do have some additional control power with the Relinquished.
I have a tip for you. Don't let anybody in the Go community ever hear you say the word mid-range. That people go nuts. People go crazy.
They can go bananas for all I care. I'll say what I want.
All right.
What do we have in the graveyard? So we do have a chaos setup as well. One, we know the BLS was just sent back.
Getting some damage here.
Yep, just clearing up the board. The Zambira is.
Hold on. 17. If you crash Quish into this, oh never mind, because Zambira doesn't actually destroy anything by battle. That's fine.
No.
That's fine. I was thinking that maybe you can like run over it with Thunder Dragon, but that doesn't work that way.
Yeah. Interesting that we decided to go for the Manju instead of the Thunder Dragon, though, right?
I think it was just for damage because Manju was an attack.
Right, but there is a world where Alfia could technically summon a monster, attack into this Zambira, and then kill it with a Thunder Dragon.
Yep.
But I don't know how realistic that is. It's a lot of commitment to get rid of a Zambira.
Absolutely, and he might even have something in the back. Like if he plays Zambira, he might as well have Sakus.
Well, the Zambara's putting in work. You got destroyed 3 monsters, right? Notably a sorcerer.
Sorcerer, Manju, Thunder Dragon. Yep.
Yep. Let me set 1. Nobleman. Magician of Faith. Not a ton of like great spells in TK's graveyard, so I think you're kind of happy with that. Only 1 banished Faith for Alfia, so that either means
interesting.
That's quite interesting. He's playing a deck where he's probably he only plays 1 just because this deck plays a little bit more aggressively, or he could potentially have 1 in his hand.
Yeah. TK also just on 1 move there could be.
Yeah.
I don't know. That could be a real thing. Could also have the other card in hand. It's kind of the same thing.
Yep, definitely. Book of Moon. Good.
Okay, we're kind of forcing the Sangin search here. What are we getting?
Sinister Serpent. I guess this just maybe you have like some discard stuff. You got Charity. Okay, Charity.
Oh, okay, great.
Yep.
Yeah, DK has pretty decent card advantage, but the LP is the problem.
Yep. Yeah, one ring could put you in dangerous range. Though I think anything above 3,000 is probably safer than one might think, right?
Yeah, BLS ring is also the golden thing that you have to watch out for. But even here, like stuff like heavy BLS would end the game.
Yep.
And what is that Zambara even on now? Lost 800, right? It should be at 1-3.
Yeah. This is probably the most kills Zambara has ever gotten in its life. Can we get 5?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, we need the over under on 5. I don't know if it's going to live through this turn, but
doesn't seem like it.
Yep, we got a breaker down. Probably clearing up some back row.
I think I remember a match where Rixa played against somebody. Might actually have been Ivan, where he ran multiple monsters into Zambara to make it small enough so that hitting over it was lethal. It was pretty amazing.
We're hitting the Saku.
It's a good hit.
Yeah, Saku definitely a good hit. I don't know if you care too much about the Zambara. I mean, at 1,300, unless you can reset it.
I think if you stuck with this, it's not about Zambara. I think it's more about the breaker, if you have answers to that one.
Yep. Yeah. Zambara casually going +4. You got to flip up the summoner. This is insane. Are we going to get the Guardian of the Throne Room? We are. Okay, and it gets over the breaker. Let's see if this attack can get through.
Oh, he's thinking.
This is such a funny card. I guess it's a light. Yeah. You can play with limiter.
And like we kind of glaze Spy a lot, and part of that is that a flipping Spy can mean 2,400 damage to the dome. This is 3,200.
That's true.
50.
It only takes your normal summon.
Well, kinda, but just it's kind of cheating out a summon if it works. Like if you flip this up or if you flip Spy up, actually, especially in the Turbo Mirror, Arsenal Summoner stats are just more useful because nothing hits over Arsenal Summoner that would not also hit over Spy, except like maybe a breaker.
Mm-hmm. We're getting a Tsukiyomi down, and it's quite interesting that he's elected to. Yeah, maybe it's because I don't know. We have the light and dark in the graveyard, so I'm curious why he did that. Oh, is there a ruling error?
What do you mean?
Someone said they normal summoned already.
No, they didn't. It was a flip summon by Arsenal Summoner, and that summoned out the Guardian.
Oh, he summoned Guardian. He summoned Guardian.
Yeah, but that was off of the effect of Arsenal Summoner.
Arsenal Summoner just adds it to your hand.
Is that true? Do we have to step in?
Potentially.
Because that also means that everything I said about it being kind of like Spy is completely useless.
Yeah, why isn't my message going through TK?
Probably lag.
Lag? Can you message them? Tell them to pause. Tell them to pause. Yeah.
Okay, my message is also actually it is going through.
It is going through. Yeah.
Okay,
oh,
TK,
there's
TK
okay.
has seed. Should probably also alert the judges. Let's get MF in here.
Can you do that?
Yep.
Okay. Maybe message Alfia too. Right? Pause. I don't know why my messages aren't going through on.
Okay, so Alfia go to the DM as well, so I guess they're pausing for now.
Yeah, I'm messaging them both. I think push DMs. Yeah. Okay. We probably need a judge here, right? At this point.
Yeah, I've already tagged MF.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna come soon. MF is the head judge, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Alfia already knows. Okay, so
yeah,
they're handling it.
Yeah, I don't know why my DM to TK didn't go in originally. I mean, probably I got one. I don't know.
Okay.
You also messaged TK, right?
Yeah. Okay, so
yeah, it's pretty irrelevant. So yeah,
I guess.
Yeah, it's fine. But do we want to continue watching this in the meantime while MMF comes, or do you want to skip to another game?
We can skip to somewhere else. GeistD against Purple Drunk should have just started. There's also still Ivan Rossitto against Indoors.
Who do you want to see? Or if the chat has anyone in specific you want to see too. If not, I will defer to you, Grumple.
Then let's go to GeistD against Purple Drunk.
Okay. All right. So they're mid game, game 3. So what do we have here? We got probably Geist on his patent pending list, I assume, as always. Purple Drunk on his cast turbo likely as well.
Purple Drunk with a Thunder Dragon into pot duo start.
Yeah. Nate Dogg wants Indoors on the screen though. Oh. What do you think, Crumple?
Well, too bad.
Okay.
Now we can go if you want to. I don't care.
Yeah, we can see it out. If it just we can just check if there's anything spicy, and if not, we can.
I don't think these players are known for spice. GeistD kind of always does his thing, and I think Purple Drunk is a fairly standard turbo player.
Yeah. Oh, the heck I can't. Where's Indoors? So Ivan. Well, this game is about to be over.
Yeah, they've been playing for a while.
Ivan with his classic patent pending triple trinity. Oh, this is a big try if it goes through though.
Yeah, but I don't think that's enough. Like it still doesn't clear the Pyra.
Yeah. We can probably catch the end of this. Well.
Yeah. Let's just stick to this for now.
Got the world champ in the chat as well, Mr. Alvarado.
Yep, he's also in the tournament as far as I know. Yeah, he's waiting. Yep. He's waiting on the winner of this. He's just being a little scout. Okay, 2 Thunder Dragons for Ivan.
Yep, and a kinetic.
Of course, of course. It's not enough, but with the ring it might be enough.
Well, ring has already been used.
Well, then it's not enough. It's the ugly ring though. I don't know why that is the default one on DB.
I don't know. Is it that's the OCG one, right? I assume.
I have no idea.
It's got to be because like the weapons.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Yep, that's game. All right, yeah. Ivan will be moving on.
Against Alvarado.
Alvarado.
Do you want to hop into that, or do you want to hop into indoors to please Nate?
Well, this is we already just watched indoors. That was indoors against Ivan.
Right. Of course.
Everyone in the tournament is a champion. That is very true. If the chat is anywhere they want to go, we can go there. I imagine this match is not going to start for a bit. We got Moxie's potentially against Alfia or TK Griffiths, so that should be an interesting one as well. Any preferences? I guess the Purple Drunk game is still going on. It's about to end, so you can tune into that for the meantime.
Sure.
Got some folks saying they want Alvarado on the screen, so
yeah, Alvarado Ivan would be the next one, but we can watch that once this match is over, right?
Yeah, whatever works. Otherwise,
they're only about to start. We will still see them.
Yeah, either works. Back to Alfia. we could go back to Alfia if the ruling was called. That wasn't
it's actually not resolved. I've just checked chat. They are still waiting. So
they're still waiting. Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't think there's any like well, I'm not a judge, right? So I can't really speak to it, but flipping the Guardian of the Throne Room with Sugiyami, I don't think is like a huge deal. I don't think it really changes the game state too much.
No.
So
it's also like the accepted game state thing all the time, right? Where like both people are kind of in charge of keeping the game clean.
I don't know. I don't know if we do accepted game state or not, but
kind of depends on what it is, I think, and also like when you catch it.
Yep.
It's hard to remake the game 5 turns after it happened. But
Yep, 100%.
Yeah. Right, so Purple Drunk has a good little card advantage, still living off of that pot duo start, but lost a lot of HP. Hold on, GeistD on double deco? Is that new?
I wonder if he's just on turbo today, because
I was about to say, I like this might just be turbo.
Yeah, because he doesn't usually play double upstart either, right? He usually plays like
I don't
one.
know.
Interesting. I mean, this is such a good position for Purple Drunk. I think you're fine being down this life. Has ring been used? It hasn't, but even still.
Okay, never mind. The goats.
There it is.
For 1 second.
Or you could have all excited into it. I don't know. It could just be on maybe your normal chaos control. A lot of possibilities. What's your opinion on chaos control in the meta right now? I know it got second recently at the last Patreon.
I think it's a decent deck, but I think it's just a worse version of Turbo, but that still makes it a decent deck. Mm-hmm. I feel like there's just no reason to play it. But I believe that about a lot of things. Like I believe that about Earth Aggro, Burn, Reasoning Gate.
Yeah, but those decks aren't like worse turbo decks. They play
No, but there's kind of just no matchup spread reason to play them.
I think there's definitely a good spread reason to play Burn or RGT. You can definitely catch a lot of unprepared.
Burn loses against everything, so why would you want to play it?
I don't know.
It's kind of the same with Earth Aggro.
I think Burn is actually having quite a strong season for War League right now.
Possible.
But last season it was atrocious. So it's like kind of that.
We're also just like 2 weeks in, so let's hold our horses.
Yeah. 3 weeks almost, but I get your point.
Sometimes it also just like variance does things like last year had a really bad showing for Warrior, and at that time Turbo decks were actually less prepared for Warrior than they are right now, and right now Warrior is still dominating.
Yep, definitely.
So who knows what happened there?
But I mean, we do have a champion that played Burn in this tournament in this very tournament, and it has won Worlds. So I don't think it's as poor as you're giving it credit for.
Yeah, but I think you have to put like a caveat on that Worlds win, because as far as I know, like that was at a time when people didn't really like when the deck was kind of new in the meta, like people weren't really used to it and like didn't really side to it.
Yeah.
As far as I know, like people weren't even playing Vox in that tournament, so yeah. But that happened before I joined the scene, so I don't know.
Yeah, I still think there's a lot of innovation for the deck, so I think there's something still to it. But
okay,
only time will tell. All right, we've got the TD in hand. That's kind of not really what you want to see, right? Because you've got like no pressure from GeistD side. You really want to see a chaos setup.
Yeah,
with a Sork.
You kind of need something like Cyberjar, to be honest.
Yep. If he plays it.
Yeah, I don't think he does.
Cyberjar, maybe set 3 Morphing Jar.
What about Morphing Jar 2?
Would work.
Yep.
That's a funny card.
Yep.
I brought that to the FLC that I got my invite in last year. I don't think I've ever resolved that card ever in tournament.
Yeah.
But it is funny when it happens.
I think it's mainly an anti-reasoning gate tech, right? Yeah, where you shuffle everything back and then basically mill them.
Yeah. I'm sure you could side it in strategically against some other weird decks. Like I imagine, is there a world where you could side it in against like Library FTK and mill their whole deck and they can't burn through all their life points? I don't know.
Could even be good against burn.
Could be. They play a lot of monsters though. So it's
Do they? Don't they like play like 12 or 13? That's not much.
I don't know. I think it's probably enough. But in a world, you could hypothetically get rid of all their burn cards.
Yeah. Like the big part, like, is always that you want to have monsters that can't be normal summoned. Like, for example, like Sork. You can just like mill over Sork and that's good for you. Right, goats.
Is that number 2?
That was a long thing for that one.
Well, you got to be a little conservative with these if you don't really have any way to convert off them, right? Especially you are used to.
Okay, probably setting the Thunder Dragon here. Unless it's a Guardian swings.
Yeah, it's Guardian swings. He's cooked. You probably just want this Serpent back in rotation. Get this thing on board when you can. Why not?
Get some more discards.
Nate Dogg says you're spreading some Cyber and MJAR2 propaganda, and that you have some. Did he hop deck for this? That wasn't making sense.
I am possible, maybe. What is Nate Dogg complaining about?
He's calling you dishonorable.
Why?
Spreading the propaganda of the jars.
Why is that dishonorable? Like that's spice. People like spice. Don't you like spice, Nate Dogg?
25-7 is saying that there was a burn deck with 0 monsters made the top. Yeah, I think that was the speed burn deck that Evans GR played, I think, at the Patreon.
I think so.
I think that deck was actually brought by TK Griffiths to an Obelisk, who's actually in this tournament right now.
Yeah. There's still some weird stuff you can do with burn. Like the dice jar. That's kind of fun. Although it's not good, but it's fun.
Yeah.
And also, I remember like Pooh experimenting with Meron, the like mechanical dog thing. You know, the one that self explodes.
That card is. I think that card's pretty bad just because it's like reciprocal unless it's destroyed by a card effect.
Yeah.
But it is pretty funny. Interesting that this tear resolved. So this is not probably like a break or anything.
Yeah.
MST though, that's a funny way to deal with it.
That'll do.
Yep. You're still kind of. It's a 2 for 2, right? Trading the meta plus this tear for.
I guess also like the go token in a way is at least partially card.
Yeah, like a 2.5 for 2. Although I don't even know if you can call it 2.5 for a 2, because then by that logic, that means activating one scapegoat is a 2, a +1.
Well, would you go that far?
You might.
I wouldn't.
You might. Maybe against warriors, it's a 2. It's a +1.
Eh. Okay, we take the serpent pack.
People in the chat are saying we're sleeping on Poison of the Old Man.
No, we're not.
There's a pretty fun. So actually, I played in GGP Detroit about a week and a half ago or whatever. Maybe it's been 2 weeks, but on day 2, there were a lot of people asking for Poison of the Old Mans and additional cards that just like work well in time. So, it actually came up. AJT actually won a match because he activated Poison of the Old Man in time, which is kind of crazy.
Just use Vok.
I'm gonna go grab some water real quick.
Sure. Pebble connecting with some hits probably. Grimfall's already in the grave, so this is not very dangerous. But still thinking about how to do this. Okay, now we're swinging. All right.
Back.
Sorc Summon does it for now. At least solves the pressure problem.